social media is really the worst thing that ever happened to us. I really believe that, even though you're probably watching this on social media, or maybe you're watching this on YouTube or Instagram. I also have 2 online businesses that I run besides this podcast. They're all online. So why do I think social media is so bad for us? Well, if you're using it for business and stuff like that, there is a way to use it. I'm not going to be talking about business here. I'm going to be talking about using social media for your personal life, so your personal account. I'm going to touch on the biggest issues that I see with social media, and then I'm also going to give you some tips on how I use it and how you can use it in a more healthy way that keeps you sane. By the way, if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure you do so. So let's go right into the issues with social media. Issue number 1, this is probably the biggest one. People are constructing their persona on social media and they're completely detached from who they really are, or they forget who they really are because they're so focused on crafting this persona online. All right, so, like you'll see your friends going on vacation to Mexico and then posting all these beautiful vacation photos on the beach in their bikinis and all that kind of stuff. And right away, you're thinking to yourself, I got to do that too. But you don't. You really don't have to do that, okay? And so what happens a lot of times, and I see this all the time with my friends, and sometimes I can even see how it starts to affect me, and I'm starting to question my own reality. I'm like, am I starting to try to be like somebody else? Because the whole point is you want to be unique. You want to be yourself. You want to be original. You don't want to start copying what other people are doing. And in a way, it becomes a little bit like, keeping up with the Jonases. You saw your neighbor get a new deck in their house, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to get a deck too. Keep up with the Jonases to show that I'm also cool. I've got the status. I can also afford a deck. So this was on the offline world, but we're kind of doing the same thing right now online, but it's even worse because you might not even have the money to get that deck, okay, or to go on that vacation, but you'll still somehow make it happen to make it seem like you can afford it, that you have a certain lifestyle. And so this is the biggest issue, is people are disconnected from who they really are. I think that this comparison on social media is just not healthy. We're not evolved to see what everybody else is doing all the time. And it gets us all hot and bothered, wanting to compete and to match what they're doing. But again, you don't have to do that. And like I said, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can use social media in a healthier way at the end. But the biggest problem is that make sure that you are not just creating a false persona and you get on this hamster wheel of just posting more stuff just to be like your friends. It's very easy to look at other people's lives and want to be just like them. But what if internally you actually want to do something else, or you're meant to do something else? Maybe instead of going on vacation to Mexico, if you really got in touch with your instincts and how you're feeling from the inside out, which I recommend you do, maybe you should go meditate, okay? Maybe that's your path. But because you're seeing all these people going to Mexico on vacation, you think you need to do the same, okay? And so, again, you want to connect to your inner instincts and decide what actions you want to take from the inside out, not by looking externally what other people are doing. It can really get you disconnected from yourself. By the way, you should check out a documentary called The Social Dilemma. It's on Netflix. Also talks about some of the biggest issues with social media and how it affects our generation. Now let's go to the second biggest issue that I see with social media. When you're posting things all the time, you are getting those likes, those comments, you're getting rewarded, and it makes you feel good. It triggers the brain's reward system, which releases dopamine. So guess what? You want to do more and more of that, and the more likes you get, the more you want to come back to the app to check if you're getting even more likes. It's a never-ending game. And so you become addicted to that, kind of like people get addicted to drugs. And you need more and more and higher quantities just to feel the same way. And so it makes you want to post more things. It affects your sense of self, your sense of self-worth. Because if one post doesn't get as many likes, you might get depressed all of a sudden. Oh, I'm not so popular anymore. Because you get so invested in your online persona, you're forgetting it's not reality, okay? But people forget that, just because you didn't get as many likes or comments as the last post, it's not a big deal. It's just a freaking post, man. So yeah, that's another issue with social media, is that it can really screw with your confidence and your self-esteem. On to the third biggest issue that I see with social media, and that is that it robs you of any mystery that you might have. We all know that having a little bit of mystery can be attractive. And it's okay to not share everything publicly. Having some stuff private is actually very attractive. I'll tell you myself, when I see a girl who's very attractive, who's very good looking, and she's not very active on social media, she doesn't post much, she's not doing stories, or she posts very rarely, I find that to be actually very attractive. To me, that says that she's not trying to get attention online. She's actually maybe living her full life offline. So, and it also intrigues me. I want to get to know her more. What is she up to? Because she's not posting like everybody else, Like this Melissa over here, I know she went to lunch to Chipotle's, and then I see her posting a story, going to dinner with her friends, living her best life with a cocktail. And then tomorrow she has a yoga class. I can see all that, and there's no more mystery. I know everything about you. Why do I even need to meet up with you in person? So it's actually nice to not know everything about the person, so that you have more things to discover when you interact with them in real life. And so in the past, that's how it was. Like people were more private, so you had to get to know them through real life interactions, not through online. Yeah. So that's the other issue, is like it robs you of being more attractive by keeping certain things private. All right. So those were the three biggest issues that I see with social media. There's many more. But I'd like to now go into some tips on how you can use social media in a healthier way. So I don't recommend you delete it completely. Like some people advocate, well, don't use it completely. But we all know that's not always practical. Sometimes we do need to get in touch or network with people. Like I exchange Instagrams with people when I meet them somewhere. It's just an easy way to keep in touch. And then you can remember what they look like, and there's a messenger there and stuff like that. So I don't recommend you completely get rid of your social media accounts, but you want to use it in a healthier way. And a lot of these are going to be what not to do. But the first tip is, just in general, you want to use social media in a conscious way with awareness. Don't just post something emotionally, okay? You just took a photo and all of a sudden, oh yeah, I gotta post it. Like, take some time to think about, do I really want to showcase this right now on my profile? I think that you should treat your Instagram profile, your personal one, like your business card, okay? Just showcase a few things about yourself that you're into. Let's say you're into playing guitar, and you're also into business, and I don't know, you like reading stuff. So maybe you can have some posts there that are about guitar, some about reading, and some about business. And that just kind of showcases who you are. Maybe have a clear photo or video of you so people can see who you are. That's about it. That's a healthy way of having a social media presence where you're not prompted to constantly post things, but you have some things highlighted there that are showing who you are as a person. Maybe you make a few posts per month or per year. I don't recommend posting often. That's one thing that I definitely don't recommend, not posting often. And that brings me to tip number 2, and that is instead of posting time-sensitive events or news, it's better to actually post evergreen content. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna post your birthday celebration every single year? You start doing it one year, you're gonna now do it for the next 50 years. It's kind of like, it's better to actually just showcase things that are evergreen, in the sense that, like, if you're into guitar and you like playing guitar, have a nice guitar jam session that showcases that's what you do and that's your thing and you're good at it. Cool. Do you need to post every time you have a new guitar thing? I mean, it depends. If it's part of your job, maybe. But in general, I would recommend not posting time-sensitive stuff, more post evergreen content that kind of showcases what you're into or what's going on in your life, but not date-specific, or or getting too focused on highlighting every single event that you have in your life. Next tip, I know a lot of you are not gonna like this, but don't post or consume too many stories. Again, this goes back to that part about privacy. Have some privacy in your life. You don't have to post every time you're doing something, okay? I can see, doing some stories sometimes, once in a while, for if you have some kind of a big event coming up or something like that. But you don't have to post every time you're going out to lunch so that everyone knows where you are. Next tip, make sure you're posting things that are very much in line with who you are from the inside out, that reflect what you want to showcase, not what other people are doing, okay? Don't try to be like other people. Make sure whatever is on your profile, it reflects you. And people are going to judge you whether you like it or not. So you want to be careful what you're portraying online, okay? For example, if you're a woman and you're looking to get wifed up one day, it's probably not a good idea to have a ton of almost naked photos of yourself online. Guys are not going to take you seriously. That's just the truth. So you do want to be careful of what you're doing online, what you're showcasing, and especially if you have certain goals in the future. You don't want people to get the wrong impression of who you are, okay? Make sure you're showing enough of the different sides of you that people don't judge you and think worse of you, okay? Next tip, don't get obsessed with the likes and the comments. I don't recommend focusing on that at all. If you're posting something, just let it be there. It doesn't matter how many people liked it, who saw it. You're just doing it to kind of have, like I said, like a little business profile for yourself, a little presence online. Next tip, you want to follow people that inspire you and that are affecting your life in a positive, healthy way. Because whether you like it or not, you are being brainwashed. Okay, we're all getting brainwashed by what we consume. So if every time you go on Instagram and you see, let's say, I don't know, like I said before, those people that are posting vacation photos from Mexico, and that's all you see, it brainwashes you to think that that's normal life and you should be on the beach every day. But you're stuck in your cubicle and you're like, well, everybody else is on the beach. That's how you start to think after a while. You think you're crazy. But if you follow people who are doing meaningful work, or business leaders, or people who talk about mental health, for example. These are just examples. It can be anything, any interest of yours. If you follow those people, then you're going to get some kind of daily inspiration that is going to be better for your brain. So if you're going to brainwash yourself, just brainwash yourself with the right stuff. That's my recommendation. Next tip, and this is related to what I just talked about, and that is that right now there's a way to tailor your Instagram feed so that you see your favorite posts first, or you're gonna see the posts from your favorite accounts first. So you can choose the accounts to favorite, and then you're gonna see those accounts first. And this is really cool feature that I am experimenting right now, and I don't know if I'll use it all the time or not, but it's really cool because let's say one of the accounts that I follow is Daily Stoic, and then I have another person, this podcast that I like, for example, Aubrey Marcus is one of the people I listen to. So like these are my favorite ones. So sometimes they're the first ones that I see, and sometimes I don't even want to scroll past it. So I only get a good dose of the kind of stuff that I'm into rather than trying to consume everything on the planet. The last tip, just post less. That's my advice, okay? You don't need to keep up with the Jonases. Make sure you are living your life in the real world and you understand that there is a difference between your online persona and your offline world. Don't get attached to your online persona, okay? So that's it for today. I hope I wasn't rambling too much. I hope it was useful to you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. There's a lot more we can discuss. We can take this discussion to the YouTube comments. And otherwise, subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're listening on iTunes, leave me a review. I'll see you guys on the next episode.